Hello everyone, how are you? I'm going to check. I think I still have a problem with a little bit of lag in my streams. I have to solve that. I didn't really watch my older streams and try to determine if that's a thing still. But my internet didn't change. It's not possible to make it faster. Yeah, like even now I started the stream here and hmm hmm how is it working for you? If anyone is near the computer and chat, is it working for you? Is the quality the quality I think is okay, but the problem is that it will like stop and it will not be smooth. Ah, technology. Who invented this? Why is it not better? Why is it not more user friendly? This is streaming thing. Anyway, let's get started. Let me check this. Oh. It's I shouldn't be trying to watch the stream while I am like uploading, downloading, uploading. I'm thinking about going to watch it through my phone because my phone has a different internet. Yeah, this is not good. Although it's funny because it says excellent connection. How can it be excellent, YouTube, if it's lagging? Or, I mean, you know what I mean. Not lagging, but like, how do you call that? Hi, Janice. The volume is pretty soft too, and maybe it's just me. Yeah, I mean, I can make it a little bit louder. If you will wait a second. I'm still there, you guys. I'm just you can look at you can look at the cats in the meantime on the balcony. I'm home alone. I don't know if I should disclose that, but I'm home alone and wait a second. So now it should be a little bit better, a little bit louder. So I'm home and the cats did wake up when I came home from work. And they are on the balcony. So how is the sound now? Where did I put my phone? Okay. I wanted to check it from here. Ooh. Yeah. I'm just going to observe. It's also darker, I guess, but I will move more backwards into the light in a second, so that will be better. I don't want you to try to you computer. Why are you not listening? Beautiful cats. Yay! Great. It's so nice to have a feedback. Thank you, Janice. I hope you am saying your name properly. I'm not misspelling it. Hey, it's so dark actually on my phone. I will just move backwards. Computer here. So there is a lag, so everything that you say in the chat, I always read later. And yeah, as I said, technology, streaming, it's weird, it's funny, but yeah. Let's see. Now it looks okay. No, it's not. It's not. It'll still do that thing from time to time. I have to seriously research how to make it I think I can decrease the quality of the stream, but I'm not sure if that's going to solve it right now. So let's try to change the bitrate. I'm sure you have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't know if it will like do the change now if I decrease the bitrate. It's just 500 whatever the bitrate is, the units. Anyway, let's do something. Since you came here, hopefully to practice. Hopefully you are here for practicing some yoga. Today's topic is core and arms, and it's my favorite topic, and I'm so happy that we are doing it because I did some deep back bending in the morning and it was not the best idea, and I think I will post some lengthy caption about on my Instagram today about how deep back bends are maybe not the healthiest thing. However, if you even hurt your back a little bit, it's not like a disaster. Hopefully, it can be still. Your body can still heal to a certain level, of course. If the spine is like from a longer time degenerating, like the muscles are getting less and less strong, and my friend Petra had like a nice podcast. She was being interviewed about how like she is a neurosurgeon, so it was really nice. It was in Slovak language, so some of you would not be able to understand. But she was basically saying that over the time, if you are not making the muscles stronger, because they will go weaker after a certain age, they will just go down. It's just not getting better anymore. So if you're not going to make your muscles that support your spine, which is core, which we are going to do, although it's yoga, I know there are not very Konasanas, but core is essential, we have to do it. And also, of course, the muscles that hold the spine, so actually doing back bends, but maybe not like full back bends where you employ a lot of hinging in your low back. Hinging means almost like, I don't want to say breaking, but hinge is, this is like hinge on the doors, and it's a very like a steep angle that you will be creating in that low back. Usually what happens that the low back will compensate for inflexibility, or it's not inflexibility, it's more like not, you just don't have that mobility in the spine. It was not built, like the upper back was not built to go into Kapotasana, like full Kapotasana, right? But the low back can take it. I mean, you will hinge it, you will go deeper, and then if you have already some degeneration in your discs, if you have a little bit less space in between the vertebrae, in the little joints that are connecting the vertebra from the back, which are creating space for your nerve roots to leave, if that space is a little bit smaller for whatever reason, and you will like squeeze it, it's probably not healthy. But let's do some core. Let's do it. So you'll lie on the back right away. We will do this to start because I don't want to do it later when we are not, when we don't have energy anymore. So we will do it at the beginning. So you can bend your knees, you can place the feet on the ground and even closing your eyes for a little bit. Do you want to go inside, Emma? And then you can put your knees actually together and make your feet slightly wider than your hips. So your knees will naturally fall towards each other. Maybe not. Maybe you find a position that is different than it looks in my body. that will make or allow you to release here, especially because it's Friday. You had almost a whole week to live through. It's very nice also to have this like a Friday and to have it like an end to something if you have a normal working hours, and have these cycles that repeat. And then you can have these little habits like a yoga class on Friday that can allow you to somehow ground, but also regenerate after maybe it was 5, maybe it was just 4 days of working. Allow your face to totally relax. Feel your arms heavy. You can have them beside your body with palms facing up. You can have one palm on your belly, one on your low ribs. And then we'll try to move or relax the belly as you inhale. So really inflating it, breathing into it, especially if you don't do that usually. Make that belly to rise up. If you have that palm on your belly, it can be helpful for you to realize how your belly is moving. And then with the exhale, try to even squeeze the air out. And then if you like, one way to make your mind to be more aware of your breathing is to start creating your Ujjayi sound or the oceanic sound using your throat muscles to create a little bit less space. So I like to say that you should constrict your throat, but it's like if you wanted to squeeze something in your throat, so the air has a little bit trouble to go in and out. So you have to actually push the air in and out. And creating the sound when exhaling, it's a little bit easier, so concentrate more on the exhale. And go for 2 more times, inhaling, feeling the belly, feeling your ribs to the sides, your rib cage, your chest, and exhaling from your chest, from your ribs, and squeezing the belly all the way in. 1 more inhaling. And exhale. Then slowly, I'm sorry for the sound, open your eyes very carefully, or you can keep them closed, but I think you will want to wake up a little bit here. You can move your wrists, you can stretch your arms over the head. And then bring your knees towards your chest, squeeze them in, and then just feel your low back. You can move your knees right, left to feel that low back on your mat, and you will eventually want to keep your spine a little bit down. It's not possible for everyone, especially with the legs going all the way straight. So you can try it with one knee at your chest, because this is allowing your core to really stay squeezing in. So you can grab, for example, the left knee and then extend the right leg all the way straight and down, and try to keep no space in between your low back and your mat. And then change right knee in, left leg goes very carefully down, maybe even pressing the heel down towards the ground. And then go again for the right leg down, left knee in, and as you press it down, just realize where you have the contact points with the ground. So it's your heel now, and it's like the the bottom, or the top rather, of your bum, or your butt. So change for your right knee in left leg down. And again, you feel more, you don't feel anything almost. At least I don't. I have troubles to press my calf. I can do it on this side. So I feel my calf, I feel my top of the hips. Then both knees in and keep your belly in. You can ground it with your hands. And then try to bring also your ribs in. So everything down, so your low back stays on the ground. And then carefully start extending your legs. If you can see my legs. Good. Gusto. You are doing, you're ruining this. And then try to go down all the way with your legs. And then if your low back will start going up, just notice what parts of your legs are on the mat. So if you would release your legs, release your belly, you will realize that it's more like the middle of your butt on the ground, and your calves, they don't have any troubles to reach the ground. But if you will put your belly in and your ribs in, your legs will lift a little bit. So there is a little bit of difference. Maybe your body is different, and you have troubles to reach the ground with your legs. Bring the knees in, keep your belly reaching down, really squeezing it down towards your low back. Bring the knees in, grab them, move your knees again right and left. You can't, can you see me? I will move Gusto. So then reach your arms over the head, and we will do my favorite shooting, kind of shooting. I don't know if it's shooting. It's probably not appropriate to say these days. So peaceful yogi gan, or the so-called Kali Mudra, your palms are together. Extend your index fingers. The rest of the fingers is crossed. And then bring your arms over the head, and then stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. You can flex your feet towards you, and then do the opposite. So plantar flexion, pointing your toes, making your ankles straight. And then one more time, flex, feeling the calves, the hamstrings probably, and then point, and then stay with the pointed legs. Reach your arms up, and then exhaling, we will release the left leg, hovering over the ground, keeping that belly and the low back up. So notice how this is very similar. And then bring your head, your arms, and your shoulder blades up. Still the belly, pressing the low back down. Point to the right side from the outside of your right leg. Inhale, come back, hold everything, don't release the arms. And exhale from the middle of your right leg. And then we will change the legs. You can release the arms behind you. Inhale there, and exhale to the left side. Inhale back. Keep your belly squeezing down. Exhale to the middle. Change the legs. Inhale. Exhale to the right. Inhale, arms over the head. Exhale to the center. Change your legs. Inhale. Exhale to the left. Inhale back. We'll go 2 more times. Exhale to the center. Change the legs. Inhale. Exhale to the right. Inhale back. Exhale to the center. Change the legs. Inhale. Exhale to the left side. Inhale back. This is usually when everyone will start collapsing. So hold on to it. We'll do 1 more round, and you are only giving up because you know there is only 1 more round. It's not because you can't go 3 more rounds. Just because your mind knows that you can only do 1 more. Go to the left. Inhale. Exhale to the center. And release. So it's all just mind things, mind stuff that is not allowing you to, to continue. Okay, stretch your arms over the head. Make yourself super small. Bring your head up. Grab your knees. We'll roll back and forward. So super small. Again, low back is on the ground. You can grab underneath your knees even. And the more you squeeze that belly, the more rounder you can make also your low back. So the easier it will be to feel good in that swinging, rolling on your back. Some days are easier, some days are harder. For me, my back goes really flat. So this didn't used to be very easy for me. It didn't feel right. Then bring the fingertips down and just shift your hips back. So you are in the middle of the mat. Flex your feet again. Inhale, reach your arms up in your staff pose, and then start hinging with your hips forward. So just feeling your back. You can round it a little bit, belly in, and then try to bring the tips of your hips more forward, but keep your belly in. And exhale, round. Arms can go forward. You can bend your knees slightly, and then inhale again. Try to go almost like for a back bend. Arms behind you. Keep your triceps towards your face. Exhale, round. Chin to your chest. Inhale. And exhale. Notice how your sitting bones are moving on the ground. Inhale, now they are trying to point backwards. And then exhale, as if you were tucking your tailbone down and under. One more inhale. And exhale. From here, inhale. Again, come forward, tilting your pelvis forward. We'll put the palms down on the mat. We didn't really stretch the wrist enough. This will be just a little bit. So again, tilting, tilting, tilting. Palms down, turn the fingers a little bit out so your index fingers are maybe pointing forward. And then you tilt even more. You bend your elbows, squeeze them in. Press through your palms, lift your hip as you round your upper back. Hold it, maybe lift your heels for 3, 2, be where you are, go a little bit higher, and release. If you're getting quadriceps cramp, I'm sorry. Try to massage it out. Inhale, reach your arms up, and then forward folding, so reach forward, over. You're like, I am still getting that cramp in my left thigh, but it's okay. These cramps actually get a little bit less over the time, or maybe you get used to them. Big inhale, create space, longer spine, and exhale. Try to bring your belly, your lower ribs towards your thighs as you fold, or your thighs towards your belly. It's an option too, by bending the knees. And then put the palms down, again round, lift your hips. If possible, you can always use blocks here, or you can go onto your fingertips if you're used to that. If you are not, it can be a little bit harder to come onto fingertips. And then you bring one heel in, then the second bending the knees, and you walk your legs all the way back, stepping the feet back into high plank pose. Inhale there, and then exhale, release the knees down, ending in your tabletop position. So you just correct your knees, so they're nice, right underneath your hips. And I'm always saying this, and the explanation is very easy. You want to be as if you were stable table. That means that you just want to have 90 degrees in the things that are actually holding you on the ground, and this creates stability. If you were a real table, you wouldn't want to have the legs like this, because that's for sure not that stable as if you have nice perpendicular legs towards the ground. Start with your inhale into your cat. Try to open your collarbones, external rotation in your arms. So you're trying to, actually not that much, but have your elbows pointing backwards. You can micro bend them a little bit, especially in that inhale, in that cow tilt, exhaling, rounding. And you can go slow. You can try to go from the bottom to the top of your spine. Spinal waving. I have a tutorial, by the way, about spinal waves, and there are subtitles on it done recently by a very nice girl. So you can do that if you don't understand me, but you can read in English. Exhaling, rounding, press from your palms, maybe even from the tops of the feet, pressing down into the mat. Inhale, open. This time, tuck the toes into the mat. And then exhale, round your spine, relax your head and we'll lift the knees, just hovering a centimeter, which is almost like half of an inch away from the ground. And you're still trying to press around the upper back, squeezing the belly. And then you can move more forward with the shoulders and then backwards. Again, inhale, move forward and back. And then release the knees down and bring the elbows down. We'll go for something similar, but on our forearms. A tabletop in the forearms is basically the same as on your hands. However, I don't want you to collapse here, so really press, creating a hollow front body in your upper body. Bring also, if you tend to like look forward, if you're looking at the video, try to not look and just follow my instructions and look down and try to bring the face a little bit away from the ground. Then with your toes stacked, lift the knees, still pressing away from the elbows, and then move backwards with your hips. So this is a little bit easier to do than in a plank position where I like to do it. However, if you're pressing enough, you should be feeling your shoulders somehow. And it's making your stabilizers of the shoulder blades a little bit more stronger. And then we'll come forward, still rounding the upper spine. And we will go forward with the shoulders, maybe as if you wanted to go over your wrists with your shoulders. Hold there, belly in. And exhale, come back. Again, going backwards with the shoulders. And forward. Big inhale. And exhale, release the knees down. Enter the toes. Slide like as if you wanted to slide your chest on the ground as you come forward, lifting your elbows, ending on your belly. Take a little break here. You can put your forearms or arms forward, and you can rest your forehead on your forearms. You can move your legs a little bit, allowing your hips to move right, left. You can move your forehead, your head, rolling the forehead on the ground or on the forearm. Take a big inhale through your nose. Exhale through the mouth. Bring the arms to the sides. Bend the elbows slightly and come onto your fingertips. Squeeze your belly. So this time it's very similar to what we were doing lying on the back, as if you wanted to make your low back flat, but you don't have the mat, but instead you want to bring the belly away from the mat. Then bring the shoulders all the way towards your ears, hunching them in towards your ears, and then you want to squeeze the elbows in, rather the shoulder blades in, and then slide them down, creating a lot of space at the neck. Press the feet down into the mat, body squeezing, your belly is squeezing, and then lift into this variation of a cobra. Rather than going up, you want to reach forward with your chest bone. Inhale, exhale, release down. Inhale, lift. We'll go for 4. Still active legs. Exhale, so the kneecaps are lifted as you're pressing with your feet down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Very carefully, slowly. Inhale for 2. Chest forward, exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. And then bring the palms beside your upper body, sliding them down towards your lower ribs. Tuck your toes, squeeze your belly, engage your glutes, and then try to press up in one piece, or maybe with your knees bent at the ground, through a tabletop or plank, into your first downward facing dog. And take a little break here. Not a break, but rather time to recenter. You can bend one knee and then the other if this is your habit. Even if it's not, maybe you break that habit It used to be not a habit for me. Now I think I created one. Shake your head, yes. No. Let your neck just relaxed, allowing the head to hang. Press from your arms super far, and then release the knees down onto the mat. Okay, so your fingers are spread in your tabletop. Move forward a little bit with your shoulders, stretching your wrist, and then go for a little circles here or half circles, whatever feels good for you. Try to keep grabbing the mat with your fingertips, and especially have the inside palm, so the index finger mount and the thumb mounts, really pressing down into the mat. I even sometimes, just to exaggerate it, I squeeze it so much that some of my knuckles will, on each hand, it's a different knuckle, that will bend like little spider legs. Hopefully you change the direction if you are doing full circles. And then turn the fingers all the way towards your knees, or as much as it's possible. Inhale forward and then exhale, lean back and hold there for a little bit, trying to have the palms down, especially those index knuckles. Now inhale forward and exhale. Maybe you unpeel the palms, so the palms will come away from the mat, but the knuckles, the mounds, are still rooted from all the four fingers, not the thumbs. Maybe you bend the elbows slightly. It might look like nothing, but it's a huge stretch. Inhale forward and exhale back. And then tuck your toes, sit back, make fists, and bring the palms towards your forearms a little bit, moving your wrist in the other direction or stretching the tops of the wrists. Big inhale. Even creating that ujjayi, exhale through your nose. So I'll talk a little bit about external rotation, since this is arms and core class. We already tackled the core a little bit. I was talking about like how you should push the belly inwards. That means, or the purpose for that is to also engage your transverse abdominalis. So it's the corset kind of muscle that is going all around, and it's really like a deepest, especially the deepest layers help to stabilize, and they should be engaged somehow. Although you want to breathe into your belly, you want this support from the sides and from the front sides. So we usually, when we sometimes do core, not usually, but in some people, in my case, for example, I will do core where my belly sticks out. So it goes up, and my six-pack muscle, my rectus abdominis, is doing all the work. And this happens in the whole body over the time. When the deepest layers are not exercised, you don't use them because you're not focusing on them. You get disconnected from them, and you use the superficial muscles that you are more aware because they are on the surface. You can see them. You are somehow closer to them because they're on the outside, I think. And they will compensate for the muscles that don't work, those stabilizers. So these exercises where you consciously try to pull the navel in will help you to make those deep layer muscles to work again. And same applies for your shoulders. In order to make your shoulders stable, especially if you are doing arm balances and having the arms over your head, and even back bends where the arms go even further behind you, and the arm can get a little bit more open. It's a really like unstable joint. It's the most mobile joint in your body, and you don't want to go too far and too open. And in open, I mean internal rotation, where it could, I don't say dislocate, but it goes into unstable. And over the time, if you go and stretch these ligaments that hold it, you will lose it, and maybe you will actually hurt it in, like, if you have an accident or something. So making those muscles that make it stable stronger, and being more aware of them will help you to keep the joints healthy, especially again in yoga, because normally you don't actually need shoulder stability, because you don't walk in a wheel pose on the street, so that will be really funny though. So you don't need to have stability in your shoulders, right? Only when you are carrying something. And we live in an internal rotation. If you are at the computer and you are writing something, this is internal rotation. Every time the elbow basically goes away from you, away from the center or from the midline, that's internal rotation. If, Gusti, yeah, we know you are hungry, you will eat. It's not the time. If the elbow comes in, which is, for example, if you are still, by the way, having the toes tucked, I'm so sorry I kept you there for so long. You can untuck them and then you can squeeze them a little bit to the bottom of your feet to release those toes. So Chaturanga, same case. Elbows wants to stay in because you want to keep that shoulder in its safe position. So I know people do push-ups with the elbows wide, and that's okay. If you have the stability, if you have those stabilizing muscles strong, and you do that internal rotation, it's fine. However, in Chaturanga, we are doing it with the elbow squeezing in. We are trying to create more stability. We are going to make it better in the future. Maybe we will start doing Chaturangas with the elbows apart. I don't know. I'm not sure about it. Same applies when your arms are over the head. You don't want the elbows to splay to the sides. And it applies also when you are doing a pose. So we'll do it now in simple flow. Tuck your toes, bring your hips back into your downward facing dog, which is actually a pose where your hands are over your head. And as I said, you want to keep those elbows in. And squeezing in means if you would bend them, they would actually point downwards rather than to the sides. So you can look in between your wrists in your down dog. Keep your inside palms pressing in towards the ground. Keep your fingertips really squeezing, grabbing the mat. And then you bend the elbows and they're actually bending down, and that's great. And then you stretch all the way back, keeping that kind of rotation in your arms and trying to push your shoulder blades all the way towards your ears. So since the shoulder blade needs to move where your intention is. If you're pushing away, it needs to push down. If you're pulling, the shoulder blades wants to push or pull towards your hips. Okay, lift your right leg from your down dog. Inhaling, super high, squeezing your right glute. And exhale, knee to your chest. Roll forward, rounding your spine, shoulders over your wrists. Inhale one more time. One-legged down dog, lift your right leg. And exhale, knee to your chest. And now press from your palms. Press from your back foot. Hips super high. Your front body is pulling up as you flex your foot. And you step it down. And then you can use your right hand to move it a little bit more forward, even stepping your left foot a little bit more backwards. Left knee down. Inhale. So you're coming into those arms above your head. And since you're trying here, your intention is to get a stretch here and to strengthen your arms as you reach up. This is supposed to teach you how to reach something higher. Your shoulders will move up. If you would bend the elbows, they will bend forward rather than to the sides, right? So keep reaching them up, keep straightening your elbows, and then bring the belly in, come a little bit higher, tucking your pelvis just a little bit more and engaging the left glute, squeezing your legs together. Inhale, and then exhale, bring your hips a little bit lower. One more inhale, come a little bit higher, press from your feet. And exhale, hips down. And bring the fingertips down. Flex your right foot. Inhale. And exhale, sit your hips back for half splits. Inhale forward. And exhale back. And then come into your high lunge. So tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and slowly, with control, squeezing your legs, reach your arms up. Inhale there. Exhale, palms to your chest. Now bring your left heel down, opening your hips, keeping your right knee over your right ankle. And then try to twist your upper body so your shoulders are alongside your mat. Open the arms to the sides. Relax your shoulder blades down, look towards your right hand. Inhale here. Exhale, start reaching forward. Bring your right elbow on towards your knee or fingertips touching the ground. Left arm up. Now notice where your shoulder blades are. Try to push them down. Keep your belly in. Reach your left arm higher. And then bring it over your head. Since you're reaching over your head, your shoulder will move up. If you would bend the elbow, it would face forward, not up. Forward. Reach up. Turn the chest higher. And then make everything super strong. Press your feet down. Bring also your right arm over the head. Keep reaching up. Inhale. And exhale. Palms to the inside of your right foot. Left heel up. Walk the right foot a little bit more to the right for your lizard pose. And then you can stay here. You can release your left knee down to take a little break. You can even flex your right foot, open that right knee away from you. Taking big breaths in and out through your nose. Okay, so going for a first kind of arm balance, maybe the last because I spent a lot of time talking as always. It's Ekapada Konasana number 2. And this one, it requires a little bit of more flexibility in your hamstrings if you want to do the full one. So you can come up on your fingertips or you can come on your palms and just bring your hips back for a variation of half splits, stretching your right knee, trying to keep your spine straight as you fold over or from the inside rather of your right leg. To exaggerate that stretch in your hamstrings, flex your right foot, your right toes towards your shin. Just think going batshit crazy, meowing to ask for the dinner. But I think I don't know if it's on me or if he's, because I'm not the one feeding them in the evening, so I think he's just trying to call his other feeding person who is not here. Goosey! I don't know if you can hear his cries. Now he's silent. Good. Come back forward. So the one option is to extend the right leg, but the other option, to make it a little bit easier, is to just keep the knee bent. You want to place the palms down, again, index fingers forward, spreading your fingers, and then squeeze your right knee towards your right shoulder, and we will go like a Chaturanga. So you want to bend the elbows and reach your chest forward. And then you can lift your right foot first if that's available for you. It will start sliding down. So this also requires some hip flexor strength, but also squeezing that leg in towards your shoulder will help you to lift that leg. As you bend your elbows, you will land your inside thigh on your right leg onto the top of your left triceps. Reach forward, try to reach the chest forward, lifting the chest as you maybe lift also the back leg. The trick here is that you might land on your other elbow if you are squeezing those elbows in. Again, creates stability, but also it helps you to create the little trick where you land also on the other elbow, and that will make it much easier if you don't have that strong arms. I just did it because I don't feel that strong today, but the other variation is that you can keep floating. Usually guys can do that very easily. So without releasing here, this elbow now is nice and free. I would say, but it's much harder. Good. So count there. Try to reach. If your left foot is not lifting, that's also okay. Try to reach more forward, to bring more weight forward, to unload the weight from the back leg. Inhale here, wherever you are. Exhale, step back into your Chaturanga. Press up. Inhale. Exhale, knees down, elbows down. That was hard. Inhale, slide through into your Cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big, big inhale through your nose. And exhale through the mouth. Maybe one more time. Exhaling. We'll go and move to the other side. Left, like a lift, inhale. Exhale, knee to your chest. Roll forward into this tiger crawl position. Inhale, back one-legged downward dog. Exhale, knee to your chest. Roll forward. And now it's the time to keep pressing from your back foot, coming all the way to your toenails on your right foot. Then you're pressing from your arms, squeezing your belly, flexing your left foot, stepping your left foot forward. Low lunge, maybe your back foot a little bit more back. Knee down. Reach your arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Stay there. I will disable the cat exercise wheel because Emma decided that he's going to exercise with us. But it's not happening, Gamik. Not right now. I should know better and do this before. So you want to bring your hips a little bit higher in your low lunge and tucking the pelvis a little bit, bringing the belly and your ribs in, away from your left thigh. Then inhaling, reach higher, squeeze your inner thighs. As you exhale and bring your hips a little bit lower. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hips low and forward. Release the fingertips down. Inhale. Exhale, flex your left foot, hips over your back knee for half splits. And then you can walk the fingertips underneath your shoulders. And you can do inhaling. I'm thinking what we did. Make your span a little bit longer and exhale, fold. So just a little half splits here to stretch those hamstrings. And we'll come back to that high lunge. So unflex your left foot, bend your left knee, right toe stack into the mat, right knee up. Making sure that your feet are into line, squeeze the legs together as you bring your upper body up. Reach your arms up, inhale, exhale, hips a little bit lower and down. Release the arms down, then back heel will spin down. Your toes a little bit inwards. And your left knee, as you exhale, will come back over that ankle. And then twist. There is a slight twist. Essentially, you're trying to come again alongside the mat with your upper body. Open the arms to the side. Shoulder blades down. Look towards your left. Try to reach through the sides. Left palm doesn't do anything. Just start to reach forward. And then you can release your elbow or your fingers just touching the inside of your left wrist. Right arm comes up. Now the shoulder blades come down because you don't need them. So you want to create long neck. Inhale. Twist your chest towards the ceiling. Look towards your right fingertips. And then exhale, bring your arm over your head. Trying to bring the triceps towards your face. And the chest a little bit higher. Inhale. Exhale, look down. Use your legs, use your strong core. Lift your left arm. Hold them. Hold the arms over your head. For 3, 2, and 1. Left fingers, right fingers down. Back heel spins up. Left foot walks to the outside. You can release your right knee down again. Taking a little break here. Big inhale. Exhale. Okay, so you can go a little bit lower onto your palms. just to stretch that left leg. You can flex your left leg. You can bring the knee away from you for a little hip opener, hip release, because I bet that left thigh needs a little distraction from all that work it was doing just seconds ago. And then come closer with your hands, flex your left foot. You can walk the back knee a little bit more backwards in order to bring your hips back. Maybe extending your left knee all the way straight. Then noticing if you have a disbalance in your body. I have. My left hamstrings are not allowing me to go that deep. So I totally can feel here on the left side they can't go as deep. But still trying, I'm still trying. You still try to balance that. Going into the same depth on both sides. Maybe flexing your left foot a little bit higher, trying to stay above your knee with your hips. And slowly coming back. Good. Set your palms underneath your shoulders, set your fingers, and squeeze that left knee in towards your left shoulder. I like to lift my heel even here, because then the shoulder, the knee will connect easier. And when the leg will start actually like sliding down, it will slide a little bit from a higher position. Right knee up. Squeeze your belly, look forward, this is where you want to go, so looking makes it easier. You don't have to point your whole face there, it can be just with your eyes, like really like from just below, looking forward. And you start shifting forward, bending your left knee, bending both elbows, lean, 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 as much as your back left, like lifts. Inhale and exhale. Step back. Good. Take a little break. You can take a vinyasa there, or you can go directly to a down dog. You can also try, if you want, if you're finished, a variation with that leg extended, since I didn't actually cue that. So as you bend that knee, you can try it again on the right leg. So coming to your lizard on the right side. So instead of bending the knee, this time you will try rather to put the palms, the right stuff is falling, I'm sorry. Now everything is okay. I'm okay, man. He is trying to see what happened. His wheel fell down a little bit. So your right palm is right heel. In order for you to like be able to straighten your right leg. And then the higher again the knee comes at the beginning, the less it will slip. So if you can reach your knee all the way to on the top of your elbow, shoulder, it will be easier than if it will be just like on your triceps, right? Here, on the triceps is actually possible. However, if it goes higher, it requires a little bit more flexibility in that hamstrings, but it will stay there and you can a little bit easier be there. Or maybe it's actually harder for you to be there. Good. So palms set, knee high, hips high to start with. Look forward. And first you extend your right leg. You start leaning forward, bending the elbows. Then the back foot lift if possible. Hold it there maybe for 2, 1. Step back. Chaturanga or collapsing down. Take a back bend to counter and exhale. Downward facing dog. And then change and try it on the other side to stay balanced, catching your breath. So do what you want, what you need, however, whatever this pose looks like. It's all okay, it's all correct. There is no like wrong way of doing these poses. of course you can hurt yourself. Try to avoid it. One thing that gets really bent too much here is your wrist, since you're going, it's all in all, most of the arm balances, since you're trying to counterweight your legs and your hips are super heavy. You need to shift forward. In this case, your wrist will compensate for it. Again, turning the fingers out a little bit will help you, since also your elbows wants to squeeze in, and it's a little bit easier if your fingers are turned out. And then you will not be bending to the less heavy or less strong outer wrist, but more into the inside of the wrist. So you can make your fists again and release that top of the wrist by flexing the palms towards the inside. Move it a little bit. Big inhale and exhale. Okay. Slowly lower yourself on the back, on your mat. Again, bending your knees, allowing yourself to release here for a few seconds. Just feeling your heartbeat slowing down as you prolong, especially your exhales. You can now try to again breathe into your belly. However, go for no sound, no noises with your breath. So you don't want to make any sound as you fill your belly with the air. Just in your imagination, it's not going really there. And then exhaling. So are you able to allow the belly really to slow down without making any noise? It's much more subtle kind of breath. Good. Then bring the feet closer towards each other so they are hips wide. They don't have to really go super close towards your hips, but they want to be bent and you want to have traction when you bring weight into them. And then we'll bring the arms beside the body, but we will bend the elbows 90 degrees and the fingers are pointing up. So arms, I like to call this robot arms. Now again, taking the pelvis, squeeze the belly so you press your low back into the mat. And then squeeze your glutes super strongly, and this will start a little lift in your pelvis already. And then keep squeezing your belly and your glutes as you press from your feet into the mat, and that will lift and very nicely unroll the spine away. Keep squeezing your inner thighs also, and then come all the way up as high as possible. And then wiggle onto the right shoulder, left shoulder will tuck under, and then do the other side. You can go very slowly, one at a time, trying to make no contact in between the mat and your neck spine as you press higher. And then let your ribs to open and let your chest rise towards your chin, but relax your neck. Super strong glutes, strong belly. Inhale, and then slowly coming back. So one shoulder untucks, the second shoulder untucks. Strong legs as you carefully bring your ribs in, and then you push your back, one vertebra after the other, down into the mat. Release here. You can put your knees together, your feet apart. Again, the same position, or you can change. You can put your feet together, your knees apart in a butterfly or Baddha Konasana variation in your legs. Big inhale. Side out through the mouth. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Okay, now you can go for a second round. Either the same thing, or your variation of a bridge pose, or you can go for a wheel. Whatever feels good, whatever you feel like your body is ready right now. I like to go even for a full wheel to stretch the whole from the body, especially those arms. So this can be something nice. You can go for a puppy pose to open your chest and your shoulders in that kind of direction. Bridge is also good because it's this other kind of, if you interlace the fingers, especially underneath your back, and you bring your arms away from you, it's a stretch also for the shoulders, but a little bit different. There's a little bit of internal rotation. Here, again, you're trying to keep that external rotation if you are in your puppy pose or bridge pose. Elbows wants to be facing away from you, not to the side. So go for that. I will wait a little bit for you to do that. Staying a little bit longer. I would totally watch you doing whatever you're doing, but yeah, I can do that. I should do those Zoom classes. I hope you are breathing when you are still doing it. I'm just going to imagine like some wheels, some bridge poses, some puppy poses, or maybe some puppy poses at a wall. Those are amazing. Really great chest openers. And then when you are ready, you can come back to that butterfly pose or to that relaxing pose with your knees together, or child's pose if you were doing puppy pose. So those are all amazing counters or like cool down poses after back bends. Always allowing your spine, if you were especially going into a deeper back bend, to come back to its natural form. And after some while in your puppy pose and in your Baddha Konasana, you can bring your knees towards you to go even deeper. If you were in a child's pose, just come up and roll onto your back again and bring your knees in towards you. You can again move the knees right, Levis. We did at the beginning of the class. Feeling that low back, doing small circles with your knees. And then we'll go for a twist on each side. Open the arms to the sides, knees to you, and then slowly bring the knees to the right side. Trying to keep both shoulders down on the mat. Really just feeling that, then twist and realizing where it pulls. So feeling those, it's probably somewhere where your ribs are, but for everyone it can be a little bit different, depends on where you are tighter or where like your bones can also restrict you, especially in the hips. So you might feel it in your hips, and in that case you can release that upper knee a little bit away from you, and then try rather to go with the hips up and into the twist than the knee. And then you can also lift the head, look to the left, and then release the head down for continuing the twist in your neck spine. And then find more depth in your breathing. And get back to the center, knees to your chest, and go to the other side. So slowly your knees will start moving into the twist, keeping the knees a little bit higher so your low back is nice and straight. And again, just observing where it pulls, and this place it will usually release after a few breaths, after a little bit, as you are staying staying there in the twist, and you will feel it less and less, and then you can move maybe that twist into a deeper position. You can lift the head, look to the right, release the head down. Again, imagining that as you keep your shoulders grounded, you want to twist in your hips a little bit. So your hip, rather than the knee, wants to go down towards the ground, or the hip actually wants to go away from the ground. And especially away from the same shoulder. Big inhale and deep exhale. Come back with your inhale. Make yourself super small. Bring your knees really close. We'll go for a reverse pigeon, not pigeon, cow pose. Bring your arms up, but not above your head, but towards the ceiling. Flex your palms. And that doesn't have to be like a huge flex, but just imagining that the ceiling is your ground. Bring your heels towards your hips and squeeze them in. So you're trying to engage your hamstrings as you are bending the knees. And then the knees wants to come up towards your armpits as you lift your head and your shoulder blades away from the ground, and you push that ceiling away as you squeeze those knees in towards your arms and your heels towards your butt, and then you press even harder, rounding your spine. Hold it for 5, keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Open the legs. You can take a stretch here if that feels good. Just a little bit of a belly stretch. And then allow yourself to stay here, putting your shoulder blades a little bit closer towards each other and sliding them down. Allowing your arms to open, your feet to open, your toes to fall to the sides. And then you can take one clearing breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Closing your lips, closing your eyes. Super relaxed breath. And then when you are ready, bring your knees in towards you. Roll to the sides and find a seated position. As you are seated, you can slowly blink your eyes open and go and do whatever you had planned to do today. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you really not take it for granted that like you can do these kind of things. Just trying to be aware of or express your gratitude. I don't say it towards me, but I say towards you that you actually took the time. You came onto your mat and you practiced with me. So it's a thank you to you that you did it. It's thank you to yourself to be able to do that. I'm also grateful that for me that I actually organized this free class, because I think more people joined if it is public like this. Thank you, Janice. Have a nice weekend too. Thanks so much for joining. I don't know where you are from. If it is like a very late evening, or if it is day, or if it is morning, lunch, but I hope you have a nice rest of the Friday and the weekend, and whatever, like the whole week maybe. And for everyone that is watching this from the future, so if you're still watching this class and it's like not live, thank you also so much for you to joining this chaos of my cats meowing and the wheel falling. It's always this chaos. It's usually this chaotic. Not always, sometimes. And yeah, I'm thanking also you that you, even though you didn't make it to the live class, I'm grateful that you did find some time later. If you want to join my classes, the ones that are paid, or if you want to subscribe to my Patreon to support me, it's I think not too much. It's like, I don't know, $3, €3 or something like that per month. I'm also so very happy for you to do that. It helps me a lot since I'm streaming. This is for free, and also I create all the YouTube content and Instagram content for free. I'm not usually but ever being paid for doing that. Of course, I'm doing it for just sharing the yoga and because I love to do that. But there is also an option to do that for you. Okay, that was awkward. But I have to say it because, yeah, it has to be, I have to self-promote myself. So you can go to my website if you want to learn something about me, if you want to see the live streaming schedule, which is not really made into the future, but I always update it. I always update everything on Instagram. You can always check things there too. Thank you so much. See you in the next stream or in the next video. Bye.